Okay, so yes, gambling is a great topic of discussion because it is something that so many people need to be aware of what it really is. And we just remind you as we explain this to have an open mind. And if you say it's not true or you don't want to believe it's true, you don't have to. No one's forcing anything. This is just, from our opinion and noticed and observed science, of how gambling was created and the process thereof. And we are about to explain that to you all, so to hopefully help remove you from ever gambling again. That is our prayer. Because gambling, although fun, and yes, sometimes, or appearing fun, and we'll get into that later, but gambling, and yes, there will be winners, but it's so few and far between. And that's also a trick of gambling, is that you see the winner somewhere out there and you just wish it should be you, or your ego tells you it will be you. Or because of your wish, your ego then creates mentality, your thoughts, your desire. And you can believe that so deeply that you'll chase it till the end of time and still never hit that jackpot. And that's what you have to remember. And you might be that lucky person, and you might be that lucky person that hits it. And if you want to keep gambling, go for it. We're not here to tell you anything of what to do. We're just simply placing a seed of understanding in your mind if it's beneficial for you. And if it is not, then as a seed without water, it will not grow. So, let's get into it. Gambling was created by what his earth name was at the time. His name was Damien. What his last name was is irrelevant and unimportant. And the reason that is because we don't want any little dark wizard that's running around out there thinking he's cool with a little book of spells and magic that he bought at some crystal bookstore, can try to resurrect him or something. So we'll just, or connect to him or whatever they do in their little magic rituals. That can only be assumed by them or what they do, right? We might know, but again, do your research. So so Damien, not a long time ago, but when gambling popped up, in the 1830s, it started getting really popular, but it was created before that. It just got into the hands of evil, which of course it was devised to, because Damien, through magic ritual, and what he did in that ritual is not our business to say, because we're not trying to give anyone ideas out there. And, and sure, you could say, oh, well, he just doesn't know, and that's an excuse, but you're free to your opinion. So now card magic in the casino is very different than casino magic. Casino magic is simple. Casino magic isn't created by magic. That's created by a computer and an algorithm inside of the machine that determines your winning. So it's set at a counter, and casinos claim to turn that off, but do they? And if they don't, then it's illegal, but then they're above that law in some places. So, but anyway, even if that counter to hit at a specific number of rolls, which could be 28 million rolls, they could set it to any number in these advanced slot machines. And, not saying they all do that, but even still, there's a regulation of how many rolls it takes. There's all these laws and bylaws. It's really weird, but it's still laws that serve the casino overall, because the casino is a very powerful entity with lots and lots of money. And the more money you have on earth, the more powerful and shot caller you are, so to speak. You're a shot caller with money. And when you have enough money, then you can pretty much be above the law to a certain degree. And even completely if you know the right people that are also corrupted in the law patterns. Corruption knows corruption. Don't forget that. And they all work together. So anyway, your odds of hitting a jackpot or real jackpot that's like a walk away jackpot. That's, like it was so big you were like, fuck it, I'm done. That's just not going to happen. And if it does happen, you're an extremely rare. You're like a 1 in a billion shot for that. And that's just proven that you're a 1 in a trillion shot for that. And that you prove that by how many times all over the world right now is someone hitting a slot machine button every second over and over all over the world, trillions of times. And maybe like one jackpot got paid, right? So we don't need to explain any more than that. Now that you know that, just stop playing these stupid machines. Like your ego, of course, will hope in these bright colors and these neat sounds and these just, and it's all designed to hypnotize you and allure you into it. They know what hypnotism is, just like your media knows what hypnotism is. TV, news, everything, movies, they all know hypnotism and they do it very and it is no coincidence that your television and the signal and beam it puts out that science and your science has proven, so it's not conspiracy theory, people. It alters the pattern of the brain when you stare at a TV. So that was done obviously on purpose. That's not an accident. And then what they tell you through that helps manipulate your psyche and mind to form it as they want you to see and perceive the world around you and yourselves. Of course, this is to keep you all ultimately divided. But anyway, back to the shop scene. So yes, the bright colors and the fancy noises and the ding, 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 ding that you hear, that's like someone winning something, but like your mind's like, oh, jackpot, oh God, or you're sometimes will announce another Harris winner has been born. Like, okay, what does that mean? No one really asked that. You just assume it was some big jackpot, but that's not what that means necessarily. It just means someone won on a slot machine, right? They're not explaining themselves. And it might mean that someone didn't win and they're just saying a new person is born. It's like what's the word on earth? It's a guise. Okay. Sorry about that. Yeah. Anyhow, all these hypnotisms and everything draw you in, and it tricks your ego and your mind into believing you're going to be the next winner. And just because they announce over the intercom that another winner has been born after something dinged in the casino does not mean anything. It's just a suggestion. It can be a suggestion that another Harris winner was born, not that it was, right? It's all trickery. Okay, so that's slots. Now let's talk about card magic. Now this is where the disbelief starts to happen if you don't understand numerological magic. Now, to explain that, and I can deeply explain it in a different channel, but I'm not going into it in this one, but the numerology and the pattern magic of the numbers 3, 6, and 9. These are why these magic numbers are the magic numbers of Nikola Tesla. It is not hidden information. It is not a lie. He used numerology. I mean, you have to, when you create a manifestation like free energy, and you're that genius, you have to understand numbers. They have to make as much sense to you as logic makes sense to me. Basically, like that would be the level of genius of that. And because genius has many different faces. Genius is not limited to books or a painting or anything. What Joel's doing right now, and for whatever reason you guys keep not hitting the like button or whatever, and we're not trying to guilt you or subscribe, but it's like this kid's here doing something very genius and profound, and you probably recognize that, but we just want to encourage you to not let it intimidate you, or whoever might be watching intimidate you. Like, help this kid out. He's not rich. Joel, are you rich? No, dude, I'm $2,000 in debt to the bank right now because of fraud and some shit I fucked up when I was in a psychosis once, and like I'm still working on paying that back. I owe other bill. Like, no, dude, I am not rich. Okay, so there you go. He's not a liar. He's not lying. He's not deceiving you. He's not asking for your money. He's not asking for donations. All he's asking for is to please listen And if you like him or think he's cool, whether everything you can believe that's being said or not, if you can just help this kid out who's been through a lot and a lot of struggle in life by hitting the subscribe button so he can start getting subscribers. And he told himself after 100 subscribers, he will then start adding the ads to try to get paid from YouTube, but only at 100. And that's not like, but so just let's just help him. Like, help him like you help anyone else you're entertaining by, please. Because for whatever reason, every person in his life denies him. And like, in not everyone obviously, but like the people that are always around him, when he tries to explain anything like this, he's just shut down, or it's like too deep, or it's too much for people, and they just like shut him up by interrupting him or like changing the subject, or it sucks. And so it's like, it's not asking a lot, guys, to hit that subscribe for Joel. And Joel, do you agree? Yeah, man, that'd be fucking awesome. And like, I would love that, because if I could get some YouTube money, I don't need millions, man. I just need to be comfortable so I can put my daughter through college and not be stressing every check and all this debt. Dude, I'm not asking for the world here, guys. Like, I'm just asking for some help and support by hitting that subscribe. And whatever that means to you, may it be so. If you are so kind, thank you. Thank you so much. It means the world to me. And nothing can stop that, and nothing will stop me until my death. And no, nothing is coming for me. So, and if it does, then oh well, whatever. But I believe in God in my heart, not the God of your religions, but the God of my heart, and in all your hearts, that you simply need to just wake up and speak with your heart too, like you feel in your heart with a puppy. Feel the same towards God. Don't let the doubt in your mind distract or disbelieve you. Just connect and give thanks, and you will be given a subtle, gentle hug in return. That's all God ever wanted or asked for in the first place, is just to give thanks inside of your heart whenever you think about it. That's all. Okay. Okay. Thanks, guys. That helped. We're here to help you. No worries, man. Let yourself be free. Let yourself say anything you want. Be who you are, my friend, and love yourself to the end. Thank you guys so much for helping. I love this connection. It's amazing. So yeah, back to the card. So this Damien character worked with magic and a demon using numerals of 6, 3, and 9. Now, in Luciferianism, which there are good branches of Luciferian, people that do not harm, they just don't believe your church, and they see it another way. They're not bad people. But there are the other side of the coin of Luciferians that do sick shit. They just use Satan and Lucifer as a mask and a tool to keep you all in fear. But these demons are real. Like, they manifest them all the time with like a huge bomb being dropped, killing 20 people, 20 innocent kids in a school in Iraq. That creates energy. A demon is manifested by their intention, and then, they think they're serving their God, the true God, and whatever. Like, forget all that. But anyway, so back to cards. Damien worked this magic, 369. 9 is Lucifer's number, because it represents the all-knowing number. The number 9, when you times it by anything, is divisible back into itself as 9. And you can just do some simple math to figure that one out. And Lucifer is the bringer of all knowledge. I have the Luciferian sigil tattooed on my right wrist that I did not get because I am an evil Satanist. I got as an experimental alchemist, or what you would call a wizard or warlock. But I am not a bad one. I am a very, very good one. I promise you, I cannot lie in that space, or all my powers that I do have, that I could ever have, would be immediately removed. Because when you are acting and practicing as a light practitioner of what you would refer to as magic, something unbelievable, that is a very responsible job. And once you are there, beings, help you and guide you and assist you. And if you accidentally make a wrong turn or get in your ego, they remind you. But if they remind me, but I denied their reminder and did my own will in my intent of magic, like to beat blackjack or something with magic instead of numbers, because I can't do numbers and count cards. But if I tried that would not be of pure light. That would be of control. Control is not allowed in true magic. Anyway, so yes, I feel it is safe to say, beyond judgment, that I am one of, or considered one of, the highest warlocks on your planet in various groups. And that's okay. I'm not scary. And you all know I'm not scary by now. And I'm not tricking you with some weird mask on. I'm not the devil's son. And if I was the devil's son, I'd put my dad in hell and I'd go with him. Because then we must deserve it, right? So fuck that. I'll take him down and I'll follow him with him if I deserve it. I don't care. My salvation is what it is. I'm just saying. I'm not playing games, and I told you I'm not here to pretend, and I just want to clarify that. So anyway, that being said, the sigil on my wrist I got because, of course, it's a sigil is an intention of magic. Therefore, and when done and used correctly, you are obtaining, through the sigil of Lucifer, the all number 9, because of its infinity of knowledge, in returning back to itself after having received or gone far out. As far as you can take 9 as to the limits of the universe, and it'll still devise back into 9, right? So Lucifer represents 9, and yes, I have the sigil on my right wrist. And may that not scare or intimidate you, because I got it as a experiment of sorts in magic and understanding. I just didn't have fear. And then, of course, when I went through it, I had a little bit of fear because it was really intense, but that's normal. We must go through fear and pain as humans to evolve and grow. We must accept our responsibilities in that pain and doubt to better ourselves and learn from it, not deny it, not make excuses for it, not make it someone else's problem. No, you must own your choices and your outcomes, all of them. And when you're wrong, it's okay to be wrong. It's okay to be sorry, but don't just say sorry to say sorry. It's better to say sorry by just being like, okay, and say this instead of sorry. I acknowledge I was wrong. I will do whatever is in my power to make it better and make the change. Even if you feel deep down it was the other person's fault and you don't need to make the change, still look at it. It's okay to still look at it and analyze just in case you're accidentally overlooking something in your ego, right? There's no shame in being wrong, and you all need to remember that. Tap your heart 3 times, say, Elohim, remind me, and believe it. And then feel your heart, give thanks to God as you do it. I don't know, maybe start talking to yourself and answering yourself, leave your thoughts out of it, and just see what happens. Don't be scared. Okay, anyway, sure, doubt will come in your mind, but that's the prince of the power of the air, whose name I will not ever mention again because his name is not worthy in my book. His magic is inferior to mine in such a degree that I bitch slap him. Oh, I will say it one last time, Satan. You are nothing to me or my kingdom. Do you understand? You weak sire, you weak altar, you weak form of Eliphas Levi magic. We know you took the humanimals of the first world and twisted them and made them your little Satan puppets. You think you really had power there? No. And these poor beings are now rescued. So your power is gone. Baphomet's on my shoulder, motherfucker, and that's no joke. Okay, moving on. Back to got thrown off, but sometimes I need to say stuff, and I'll just let yourself. Who cares? So anyway, yes, so 9 is Lucifer, and that is knowledge. So infinity divided by back to itself is infinity of knowledge. Lucifer is the bringer of knowledge and light and music and sound, right? in a good person's mind, sure, let it be that. If that's what works for you, fine. Just don't harm or go into a bad space of magic. Never do that. That's a warning. You've been warned. Now that you've been warned and you continue to do it, there will be a consequence. Thank you. No arguing. Correct. Confirmed. Correct. Thank you. Okay. Like, why do you think that no one's coming for me, bro, doing all this and saying all this? Why do you think I'm allowed to do this? Your mind might say, oh, he's in the Illuminati, or this is just another play of the Illuminati because he's white, and this face tattoo doesn't mean shit, and it's just a trick, and he's this or he's that. Again, guys, you got to fight your own minds, and you got to follow your own intuitions. Okay? And I'm losing track. I forget what I was going to talk about with that, so I'm going to just let it go. I'm not going to try to fight to get that thought back. I'm just going to let it go and move on. So anyway, I do have the Luciferian sigil tattooed on my wrist. I went through a lot of hell and pain after getting it, like what you would consider curses in your life. Yes, that happens to me. I lost my daughter. I went psychotic. I got back into drugs too heavily. And yes, I was channeling information the whole time, and I've written it all down, and I'll read it to you eventually if you'd like to hear it. Or maybe I'll just read it in one of my podcasts. And it just goes into the more in-depth 369 of Luciferianism and Satanism. That's all I would read to you. And I'd only read it to you because it helps understand what I'm talking about now, just more logically, or from a written logical perspective. However, now, I reached a precipice of pain where I was screaming and crying. My daughter was taken. My dad planted meth on me. They trumped up charges while I was in jail that even the lady, that one of the guards of my cells was like, you have more charges. She's like, I've never seen this ever happen before, ever, but it's happening. And when I questioned it, I was told to shut up. And she told me that, like, secretly through my door, because she liked me, because I'm a nice person. And when I'm in prison, yes, I am a pod boss, but I'm not mean. I'm only a pod boss in respect, not of fear, but because of my compassion I show other people and help other people and talk with other people. I do not use fighting or violence in prison or in jail, which I have not been to prison, because I've been to jail plenty of times, but I have mental illness and I get mental health diversion when I've made a mistake in my psychosis. Anyway, so I reached a point of pain after the Luciferian sigil was tattooed on me that hurt so bad that I was going to kill myself. I was on my way to get the gun. And I was like, wait, and I woke up. I was under the spell. Of course, I put myself in a spell. You know, when I challenge or take on Satan or a demon, like I already have, so don't worry about that. I did it last night. I was given the key. I repented my sin. I went before God. But when I called upon Satan and posted in our Satanism, the Satanic Temple on Reddit, they, of course, after posting there and information I shared there, they permanently banned me from their community, of course, because I'm a threat to them and they know it. But anyway, I used them against themselves because I wanted them to manifest their energy towards me. I wanted to be disrespectful to them on purpose. Not all of them, but just the ones hiding in their shadows that are watching, you know, because most people in the Luciferian sites are good-hearted people, man. Like one of the ladies that listened to what I was saying was like, dude, you're like, what'd she say I was like again? A modern day, what was it? I can't remember what it says. Some poet. It was some poet's name, she said. I'm sorry, I can't remember, and the divine's not reminding me, and I don't know why, but it must not be important. Anyway, it must just be an ego thing. But anyway, but she was nice, and dude, so like, yeah, like you got to remember, two sides to one coin. That's how they trick you all. And I'll explain it one more time here, or as many times as it takes, I guess. On a coin, a silver coin, and it's no coincidence that it's a coin, there's a heads and a tails. Heads represents evil, tails represents light, good. Okay, that's what that represents. That doesn't mean flip a coin and hope for light. You can try it out and experiment with it, but don't gamble on it. Anyway, so heads and tails, light and dark, on the same coin. It's all one. It's how they keep every system on Earth, with good and bad people in every branch and echelon of everything, to disguise themselves. Duh. Because we're inherently, we go, oh, they're good people? Oh, well, or we're good people? Oh, they're good people. And I explained that in the last video, so we don't need to go into that again. Hold on, I need to make sure my phone's not dying. Oh, it is dying. And I'm driving, and my fucking cord's short. How much time do I have? 5%? Okay. I have 5%. So, all right. So anyway, I came to a point of pain. In that pain, I was like, I remembered I was under a spell, a hypnosis that I put myself in when I tattooed the sigil on me for my intent of the sigil. And I remembered. So I took my cigarette and I burned various points of the sigil 9 times. And I burned myself so deeply that now and I'll take a picture if you'd like. Maybe I'll probably throw it up at the start of this video or on the cover of the video, just so you guys can see it. And what it looks like now. And yes, their points are specific. I don't know that I was specific in my intent, but they worked out well. Anyway, but the half-burned sigil, after I burned the sigil off me and sprayed black spray paint on my fresh wounds and just let the pain roll through me, man, and just go through pain. Let it happen. It's not permanent. And it sucks sometimes, but you'll be better for it. So anyway, but don't hurt yourself on purpose. That's not what I'm saying. This is different. Do not confuse cutting or burning yourself as something cool to do. That's not cool. That's a psychological issue to get help for, unless you do it responsibly and it brings a sense of relief. Anyway, sorry. I know there's so much to talk about, but it's okay. Anyway, so after 3 days now, remember that number specific, I got a call saying my daughter was being returned to me. And I didn't tell it. My girlfriend witnessed me burn this off me. She was freaking out. She wasn't freaking out on me, but she was freaking out inside herself, which she told later. She's like, I don't know how you just did that. And I was like, well, it is what it is. I don't talk to my girlfriend. My girlfriend knows me very well. We know each other very well. But that does not mean I share these things with her. My girlfriend is a very simple-hearted person and kind and loving with very strict boundaries that carries a gun everywhere she goes and is kind of excited to kill an evil person just because she has this little weird tick in her. I don't know. We all have it, right? So, yes. Anyway, I don't infiltrate my opinions like unless it's necessary. And which is very rare. So now, again, so at 3 days after I burned off the sigil, or not burned it off, but burned off points of the sigil, my daughter was returned to me, and I was again healed. Don't ask me how that works throughout the connected parts of the universe. I could answer, well, can we answer that? Sure. Okay. So when you create energy ripples, they have energy and intention. That's your prayer, right? So your prayer is eventually answered. It just might take a long time. In this case, it was very quick because, again, it's a ritual of high magic. Now, since the sigil has been half burned, yes, I still feel it come alive and pulsate once in a while. But now that I've defeated Satan, there's no pulse in my tattoo anymore. And now it's just all light. Now the sigil is returned to normal, and you guys are welcome. And feel free to play with it because there is no more power. If you even try to manifest a demon, it'll be redirected right to me, and I'll deal with it. That is no one else's job. I would never ask anyone else to try that. Do not attempt this at home. Do not attempt fucking with demons at home unless you are a very skilled practitioner, such as myself. Understand, please, that. I'm not trying to tell you what to do. Just please, because it can lead to bad things, and I don't need to get into that. It can lead to psychosis. It can lead to suicide slowly. It can lead to you doing and being tricked and you're hypnotized. It can lead to spirits around you. Never play with the Ouija board. The Ouija board taps into the psychic realm, which is the limbo realm, which I mentioned in my last video, where bad spirits get stuck for eternity. and they do everything they can to escape, but they never can. And so they can use a Ouija board with you, and then once you open that, they just flood in. It's like it's an evil wizard's trick, of course. It's just a bad wizard. It's a bad warlock's trick. Now, see, now here's an example of a good warlock. Jerry Garcia of the Grateful Dead is a warlock. They were even called the Warlocks in the beginning. But, and here's the thing, the warlock name was already taken. So they went into the Egyptian Book of the Dead, which is also another form of very high ritual magic. And they just, however, found Grateful Dead in the book and were like, that's it, that's the one. And they played the Legions of the Dead they're following through the fourth dimension, which they tapped into with acid and sound. And then once they had it, and they could never lose it. Doesn't mean they were always perfect, but it was pretty badass if you know it, right? Woo! Get on the spaceship, y'all. Like, for real, with that music. Just get on the spaceship in your mind and sail away. But yeah, sorry, I'm at my, okay. So yes, my daughter was returned. Again, don't play with these Ouija boards. Do not attempt to manifest a demon to learn anything or hurt anyone or curse anyone, because the only thing you're doing is hurting yourself. You might see something happen to the person you curse depending on your level of magic that you've let yourself attain in wizardry or warlockism. Now, like, wizardry is much lower than a warlock, of course. The order would be warlock, wizard, and witch. Wizard and witch are equal. Warlock is the keeper. That's what that is. Okay, so anyway, so now that the sigil's burned and I've confronted Satan and yes, bitch slapped him, and then he just pouted like a little baby, and he jumped into my head and tried to confuse me and throw me off and scare me and tell me I was his son and whatever to confuse me. But I had to go through that. That's my sin of repentance. I had to face that for whatever reason, and I did, and I defeated it, and it's all good. So don't worry about it. So you can, but like, that does not mean just try to, go ahead. Go ahead. Someone do it. Manifest a demon right now. You know it. There's a person out there that will hear this that knows they how to manifest a demon. Do it. See what happens. I challenge you right now. Manifest you can't manifest higher than Satan. He's gone. So I guess your next move would be Beelzebub or, what's the other one? I don't study these names. What's the other one? Fuck it, Damien. Fuck it. Damien's hell as shit. All right, wrapping back around. Okay, so yeah, manifest Damien. Bring him at me. Come at me, bro. Okay. Can't answer. Hang on. Thank you. Okay. So now I got to make sure I'm recording still. Yep. Okay. Back on track. So now 6 is the number of Satan. 666. 6 divided by itself also, or 6 times by itself, whatever. Do the math, you'll figure it out from there. But Satan represents ego and impulse and desire. So these Satanists out there, or some of them, what they believe is that, or they draw their power or their happiness or contentment from, this is all it is, guys. It's not scary at all. They're just acting on their impulse, their carnal desire and impulse. They've been twisted to believe that they are supposed to nurture their carnal desire and impulse, which is also sin, or known as sin. They nurture that, and they do everything they can throughout their day to get whatever they get in their sick satisfaction out of it. Now, there's also Anton LaVey Satanism. See, two sides to the coin. Anton LaVey Satanism is just a dude that's like, oh, here's some crystals. Don't kill or hurt anyone. Don't kill or hurt animals, which that's not true, because if you need meat, you can absolutely kill an animal humanely. Okay, that's not in fucking factories. That shouldn't be done where they can't move and all that sick shit. No, but that's kind of what happens when you have too many people on the planet. But whatever. So 666 is ego. That's all that is. Don't be scared. Okay, and then 3 would be Leviathan. Oh, manifest Leviathan. Is he around? Yeah, manifest Leviathan if he has the balls to come at me. Okay, so if you're the Madam Sire that hears this in the Roth manner, or whatever. I don't care if you call it that. I don't give a shit. Yeah, if you're the Madam in the Roth manner, go kill your baby that you do, and then drink its blood, and then manifest your shit with your little black robe people while you wear the white or red robe, whatever. Go do your thing. It doesn't matter. The baby's going to heaven. And it's like, this is not inciting violence. This is just a challenge to any sick fuck out there. And again, if this doesn't happen and this isn't real, then you have to ignore everything I'm saying. There's no credibility to what I'm saying. Therefore, there is no threat. See how that works? Okay. God wins every time, bud. Remember that one, you little bitch. Okay, so anyway, okay, Madam, manifest however you do Levithan. I think I need to have a chat with that guy or girl or whatever the fuck it's mutated into at this point. Thanks. Yeah, do me the favor. Okay, so that's all that is. And Levithan is just a demon of light. And then there's one, which is Beelzebub or something. I can't remember what one is, but one's just another number of like, and all the one number represents is the unity of all three numbers above it. So it's 3, 6, 9 together. And that's what Tesla, see, they just took Tesla's shit and made it fucked. But they did that before Tesla, of course. But Tesla realized 369 and the power of the numerological wizardry of that warlock. Tesla's a warlock. That's another example of a warlock. Nikola Tesla is a warlock. And that's what he figured out through 369. He was a good warlock. But when they figured it out, they came, they killed him, they burned his shit down, took all of his information, kept it secrets, probably in the Vatican archive, or was at one point, and then gave you Edison's bullshit so they could remain using their coal. Do you think, you really think for a second Rockefeller wanted to give up all the money he was making doing nothing by this fuck energy that, it's like, this free energy that we have right now will just make it so Rockefeller doesn't make your money anymore? Oh, well, because Rockefeller worships Satan and he's so powerful in his little groups of friends that make all the laws and rules. Put the pieces together, people, please. It is a desperate and an imperative time for you all to just listen and then act accordingly based on what you know is best to do. And again, fighting or killing a bully, in my opinion, not that that's a suggestion, but if you had to kill, if it was a fight for your fucking life against this asshole bully, you kill that motherfucker without hesitation. Understood, confirmed, over. And it's the same thing they teach their soldiers in the army, military, and all branches. No different than me teaching you, and I have just the same right to teach you as they teach them. Come at me, bro. I'll sue the fuck out of you if you even try. I got good lawyers, homie. I got lawyers that know other lawyers that don't even exist in your lawyer realm. Whatever. So, yeah, make me rich that way. Go ahead, do me the favor. Because I'll sue the fuck out of you. I won't sue a theme park because some little kid accidentally sent me down a speed slide too fast. I ran in and hurt my nose and broke it real bad. I'm not shutting down bad or good people. I'm not shutting down good times. But if YouTube or any of you fucks out there take anything I say and try to hold it against me or use it against me in any court of law or of your land or your bullshit, there will be lawsuits, and many of them. And recognize that. Thank you. Do not argue. Okay. Anyway, so that's all that is. So just look into 369. Don't fear anything. And I can keep going, but I don't know. Okay, my phone's still good. I'll just talk till my phone dies or I decide I'm done. Lighting a cigarette. Okay. So, I'm getting the question. They're asking me right now in my channel that it's not my divine channel. It's another thing that accepts the channel that can come through the channel and talk to me. And then I can represent its voice instantaneously. It's saying they're just checking on me. And they're saying, you're the Grand Wizard. And I'm saying, no. They said, what are you? I said, I am the Grand Warlock. They said, that's not possible. We have that here. We do not know you. Well, of course you wouldn't know me. Again, I'm not here to argue or prove my point. You can believe me or not. I do not care. I do not take you personally. I take none of you personally. I care for you all, but nothing you think means a damn thing to me. So, Go with God. And follow the intuition of your heart. The mind can throw off the intuition of the heart, because that's where the prince of the power of the air can come through, and your doubt, worry, insecurity, and fear. But your heart remains a stone, just waiting to remember God. You don't remember God through your mind. You remember God through your heart. And I will help anyone whose intent is to work for love and light, and what that truly means, and give yourself to that love and light for the rest in service, which doesn't mean you're a slave. You just follow very simple, easy rules that you love because you love doing your job. That's all it is. So once you are mature enough to agree to surrender everything, and that doesn't mean you'll stop loving video games. You might. It might show you a different whatever. You just have to be prepared. You know, whatever that means to you is good, but when you are truly connected telepathically, not psychically, the psychic realm is the realm of ghosts that are trapped there, and we've discussed that. So don't believe that realm. That's the trickery in your head, and it will cause doubt. But then you just ask Elohim, the name of the being on the other side, to help you all transcend your minds and hearts and reunite yourself with divine, is named Elohim and pronounced as such. You're welcome. Now, any person that's ready to give themselves to light and love and what that means, and I will leave what that means, your not secret, but your understanding when that happens. But if you say, Joel, I want to know, I want to be a part of love and light for all eternity, I'm tired of the bullshit, then I will help you. Whether it's through private messaging or emails, I will help you get there, okay? And I have not decided if I want to put a small, not irresponsible price tag on that, just because I do deserve to make a little money, guys. I struggle with money bad. And I'm not doing that to make money, and I'm explaining it because I've always told myself that a true healer and shaman would never ask for $1 for what they do, because they know how backwards money is, and they know how wrong money is. But if money used responsibly is okay, but it's pretty evil, and it's hard to handle that when you get a ton of it, you know. Anyway, so I don't know if I'll charge, but maybe, okay, so like $10. How about that? Like, if you want to learn what I know and know how to do, and you're ready, but you have to really commit to God in your heart. Don't come to me until you're genuine. Until you're truly genuine, that's the choice you want to make and the direction you want to go. Love and light, the house of God, the true God. Forget the gods of your religions that you're taught. Forget it. And Yeshua Christ Jesus said, these evildoers will reach every branch of, and it's just now being released in a new version of a Bible, the true words of Christ. There will be those false doers of religion. They will use religion, politics, corporations, all as a tool of Satan and the evil, the bad sower of weeds amongst the seeds. Weeds were not ever meant to be. They were planted by the Dark One, and Christ has spoken. Anyone, okay, so this is how I'll set okay, so I need to learn to draw boundaries and be confident with money in this, because this has been a war in myself whether or not to charge money for this or not. But I just overlooked something that Divine is helping me with now. Satan can no longer enter my mind in any degree to confuse me anymore because I defeated him. That's not a joke. Try me. Okay, so anyway, oh fuck, what was I talking about? Oh, shit. I forgot. Oh, crap. Going blank. Oh, it's like, oh, is Satan trying to confuse him? No, my mind just goes blank. Thank you for the confirmation. But anyway, guys, it's like, oh, dang, I really can't remember what I was talking about. Must not have been important. Nah, I don't need to be reminded. I don't care. I have nothing to prove in that way. Oh, yeah. So if you guys want to, learn this, when you're ready and genuinely ready, send me an email, send me a message, whether it's publicly on Facebook or privately. Actually, just send me an email. Just send me an email. If you don't want the attention, don't put it on the comments. Just send me an email to thoughtprovokingyt@gmail.com. And I will charge $10 a session. So whether that first session takes you, and I'll sit with you till you're ready to say I'm done with the session. If that's 8 hours and I have the time, I'll schedule it. So I have like a 5 to 8 hour window for each session, and I will only charge you $10. And if it only takes one session and you want to tip me, then you are welcome to, and I would be very appreciative of that. But I will set 8 hours, yes. I will set 8 hours aside at $10 for 8 hours to help teach you and guide you and give you confidence into obtaining the connection in your heart and mind that I have earned very diligently. And it has cost me almost losing my fucking mind and losing my mind, just not permanently, thankfully. Thank God. God is good. Thank God I was born with one of the strongest minds on the planet due to my numerological chart. Look that up. My name is Joel Wedberg. I was born at 3:08 in the PM in Omaha, Nebraska is that all the information they need? Okay, that's all the information you need. If you're like Paul Reeder was in Tucson, Arizona, if you're as good as him at reading the star charts, there's my chart. Look into it. Now you know me. I'm not hiding, guys. So, on August 24th, 1984, I almost forgot the most critical part. Shit. Okay, there you go. Now you have all the keys you need to unlock my star chart and figure me out. Please do. I'd love it. And tell me what you find, because I can't remember what Paul told me, and I lost the recording of it. I just remember he told me I should be shaking the world up because I have maybe one of the strongest, if not the strongest mind on the planet. And that's all I remember. And everything else he said was right on. I do remember that. Anyway, okay. So there you go, guys. Merrily meet... and marry meet again. Okay, so now going back to finish and wrap up the podcast, or this podcast, Card Magic, created by Damien using 369 sequences in ritual that he did, whatever he did, probably sacrificed a child, maybe an animal, but probably a child, and then manifested the demon that worked with him telepathically, which is not telepathically, that's actually psychically, because psychic is lower than telepathic. That psychic, again, is the ghost realm. So anyway, whatever. So this Damien character was a human. He made his sacrifice on the altar, manifested the demon, worked with the demon psychically, and created card magic, which you now know as blackjack, baccarat, and every form of card game there is in a casino. Okay, so there must be a way to rewrite that so you win and the house doesn't, correct? And it's as easy as this. The house in blackjack or any game is no longer allowed to burn the first card of the deck. Uh-oh. How does he know that? I'll leave that up for you guys to figure out. Because none of my friends would ever ask me how I know shit, so like that. But, once you're here, if you want to come to my school for $10 for 8 hours, and however many sessions it takes. So if it takes another 8 hour session after that, then it's another $10, whatever. And if you want to tip me, you're welcome to, but I'm only charging 10, and I'm dead serious. So y'all can, be blessed and love. And yeah, if you want my path, if you want where I am right now, and I can't promise you'll attain the level I have, because that's just a lot. I mean, maybe I just had to do all this work so it's an easier key for you guys to get there, and I can just kind of teach you. Hopefully it would only take like 3 sessions, but maybe even 1. I don't know. Depends. But when you're ready, it'll happen, and I can teach this. At first I didn't know what happened, but now I do. As I put in pieces together and I remember, and things channel back to me that I'd forgotten or blocked out, it's all remembered. So thank you, Voodoo Shaman. Thank you, myself. Thank you, Elohim. Thank you, God. Oh, thank you, God. Amen. Oh yeah. So for the house to lose in all card games of Magic in your casino, no longer allow them to burn the first card. Happy gambling, but be careful and gamble responsibly, or just don't do it at all. Fuck it. Peace.